To be or not to be? That's not the question.
It's literature, it's poetry, it's the spoken word, diversity for all to hear. It's fact.
It's fact.
phatLiterature.
phatLiterature is a half-hour literary television program that is owned and produced by the Intercultural Alliance of Artists and Scholars, Inc., a New York-based 501c3 nonprofit organization. phatLiterature celebrates America's cultural diversity by bringing emerging and established literary voices to the general public. phatLiterature is not like any other literary program on the scene today. The guests and hosts don't talk about literature in academic speak. Rather, they engage in discussions that draw viewers in and pique their interests, giving them a taste of what talented writers are doing in today's literary scene. phatLiterature is taped before a live studio audience in a community-based setting, like a library, where writers and the general public undergo a needed exchange. More importantly, phatLiterature is a place where one discovers how writing, art, music, history, and politics intersect, and shows viewers how to compare and contrast different cultures and relate these cultures to their own lives. There isn't anything quite like phatLiterature, and it has a public already in need of it. phatLiterature is an independently produced program that's geared specifically toward public access and college audiences, and it's currently airing on 50 stations across the United States and Canada. Our list is growing every day. But right now, we need your help. We need funding so that we can continue producing and distributing phatLiterature. What follows on this DVD are excerpts of phatLiterature. What better way to gain your support than letting the poets and writers who participated in our program speak for themselves?
Unlike those who gamble the future of humanity for personal, for class, wealth, and power, now is the time to lay cards on the table. Now is the time to show what we got. It is now the time for lines to rhyme, personal tales to spin, language to manipulate, random wit to juxtapose. It is now the time to rant, to rave, to declaim, to seduce.
Yo! Once, in a place like this, I saw a poet cry. Pages burned by flaming chatter. Saw that poet cry. I mean, right in front of a place like this, a poet stood before a crowd of just like y'all. A gathering of just like us, in front of which that poet stood to bridge a word between each one, the worth that's found in sacred fragments. Sacred fragments come back home to taste a share of us.
Dear George Bush, George Oppen says that an event as ordinary as a president is the air of atrocity, and that the air is a plume of smoke visible at a distance in which people burn. I'm trying to be as clear as possible. I feel strongly that you are nothing short of atrocious.
America is a terrorist, and no one wants to admit, and pointing the finger at others is the ironic part of it. Dropped a bomb in Philadelphia to wipe out an organization called MOVE, killed unarmed women and children because the police had something to prove, and all the Black Panthers who were trying to help their community, wiped out by the FBI for trying to create black unity, put drugs in the hood, set folks up for no good, kept unemployment high, education is laced with lies, turned the people against each other, made money more sacred than your mother, caused an avalanche of grief by trigger-happy police, locked the black man up in jail, made him think he was born to fail, and no place are you safe if you have a darker face. Henry Dumas, Amadou Diallo, Michael Griffin, Yusuf Hawkins, Elmer Bumpus, Anthony Byers, Arthur Miller, Emmett Till, James Byrd, Medgar Evers, just to name a few, died at the hands of American terrorists. But terrorism here? No, it ain't nothing new.
I house the legend of Mutima. I'm the heartbeat of the earth. I am the offspring of the moon and the sun, thrust from the energy of Africa. I am the black woman. I am the symbol of love, the channel of creation, the vibration of peace, the anger of storms, and the suffering of pain. I have seen the first rain and the last fire. I am the season of soul. I have many tales untold. My wound has been stretched across the mouth of the universe to create rhythms and nations. My body has borne witness to birth and my spirit the taste of death. I've seen the 13th month, the 32nd day, the year 3000, before the year 03. For I have cradled the newborn's cry, yours and mine.
Starbucks buildings erected, Disney buildings erected, natives ejected, and past presidents taking residence in places of blood and tears that the ancestors gave. Guess they forgot that Atlantic Ocean is their grave. See, tidal waves turn into spirits, and hurricanes and heartbeats turn to drum beats, because this dream, I said this dream ain't gonna ever die. Wanna know why? It just be simple. We don't forget. Because alive is Langston Hughes, and I too have known rivers. But weary am I, but I improvise on Bird's blues, breaking all the rules, because I refuse to be confined or defined. I am a poet, the new American dream. So sticks and stones ain't gonna break my mule bone. I'm fierce and fearless.
I sit by the window, concentrate on breathing, and become breath by breath a part of breath, drawn first from this side of the street, bent to shadows dropped from a scrawny moon. Now the whole street is breath, flowing uptown, ebbing downtown, to swirl and swirl around ground zero and blur into smoke from those buried walls and those bodies. Smoke lifting from deep levels of caves where survivors are hunted and none can be found.
Dear Santa, last year in my class, we saw 2 airplanes crash into the Twin Towers. We heard a big boom, then everybody got scared and ran to the window. It was like a movie or something that you see on TV, only it wasn't. It was for real. Some people jumped out the window holding hands. And now the president is going crazy with all these wars all over the place, like in the Middle East, and more people are getting blown up all over the world. And the kids at my school and on my block look at me funny and call me names, saying I look like a terrorist. I wish my mother could take us back to Trinidad, where she's from. I don't want to have to keep getting into fights. Besides, a lot of kids look like the people in the Middle East who are getting blown up and shot by American soldiers. Please make all this madness stop. I wish we could have peace for a change. Love, and Kosi.